Afternoon, everyone. My name is Fatoumata Sidibe, and this video will be about. Let me look at the lights. Let me see if this is better. Too light. I think this is actually better. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I think it looks a bit better. This video will be about wounding other people and other people wounding us. I'm going to title it "You Are a Law Unto Yourself," and no one can wound you emotionally. I'm talking about emotionally, nor can you wound anyone. This is also one of the fallacies or one of the illusions that we have created in the patriarchy, and that is the belief that we are able to wound other people with our words, with our actions, like wound them emotionally, like say something to someone and make them feel a certain way. And because we believe that, we also believe that they can also wound us emotionally. But this is an illusion. This is not true, because everyone is responsible for their own feelings. Everyone creates their own feelings. If someone says something to you and they trigger something in you, which makes you then produce or create an emotion around that, then that's you doing that. That's not them doing that. Now, the trigger might have happened because of the projection that you projected them, and the emotion that they expressed triggered that emotion in you, but it's not them doing that to you. This is also one of the ways in which we are kept in this human consciousness, in this victim consciousness, because we believe that other people can hurt us with their words emotionally, and also because we believe that we can hurt other people. This is also one of the ways in which we are kept in the enslavement of believing that other people have power over us and other people can control us. You are a law unto yourself. You are the creator of your reality. And I know we say this in this community, in the personal development community and in the spiritual community. We say this a lot, but we don't really, most of us don't really understand it deeply. Because if we truly believe that we do create our reality with our thoughts and with our emotions, and that we alone, like for instance, I alone am responsible for my reality and what I create in my reality, then it would be very different, and we'd act very different. Then there'd be no blaming, no finger pointing, there'd be no fighting. There'll be no shaming each other, because we all know that we create our own feelings and we create our own emotions. But going back to the spiritual realm, before we descended to this 3D world, everyone was responsible for their own vibration. Every spiritual, every non-physical vibration was able to produce their own vibration, was able to produce their own energies, regardless of the other energies that existed. Because, like I said in other videos, we have all the energies in us. We have all the emotions, the range of all the emotions that exist. We have them in us, whether we express them or not. So we express these emotions at will. And this is what we've been doing in the non-physical realm, expressing, having a thought and expressing emotions and vibrations. Those were the manifestations in those realms, because they were non-physical realms. They were, realms that are that only have non-physical non-physical energies present, and non-physical energies like emotion, feeling, intuition, and imagination. And so each one of us had our own vibration. We were a law unto ourselves. We created our own worlds, if you like, or our own realms, outwit anybody else's outwit anybody else's vibration, or outwit anybody else's energy, because we are gods. Yeah, I'm gonna say we are gods right now. I wanted to say we were gods. We still are gods. So gods do not need help. They do not need help in their creation, when they're creating, because everything exists within them and for them. And so they do not need somebody else to to help them create anything. They do not need anybody else's energy to insert themselves into the reality, or into the creation of, or into the realm of another God to create for them. So why would we then think that that's going to be the same thing? It's gonna be different here. Like people say, as below, as above, as below, as above, so below, as within, so without. What existed in the spiritual realm before we came here, before we projected ourselves into this physical 3D reality, is what's continuing to happen. Even though now we are physical 3D beings, part of our entity is a physical 3D being, a physical 3D body. The larger part of us still is non-physical, and this is where our emotions reside. This is where our emotions play, and our feelings and intuition and and imagination, and all these non-physical tools, or non-physical tools that we play with, or that we hold. So in the non-physical realm, we were gods, and we were responsible for every single bit of our creations, through our energies, through our vibrations, and everything. I already said this. So as we came down to the 3D world, yeah, of course, we did diminish ourselves. We had to diminish ourselves. And I've said this in many other videos, to be human, to think like a human, to be like a human, and to the mere fact that we prioritize form, 3D form, over our non-physical being is a manifestation of how we diminish ourselves, because to to glorify just this physical body means you're limited in the sense that you cannot be everywhere at the same time, and you cannot really you cannot be everywhere. That's how I'm gonna be able to say it. When you're in non-physical realm, when you're the larger part of your body, when we revered the larger part of our body, all of our not our body, all of our energies and our vibrations, as non-physical, then you're able to be everywhere at the same time. You're able to experience every realm at the same time, and you're able to manifest at warp speed. you're able to feel everything that you want to feel in its totality. You're able to experience the emotion, and you're able to have the imagination and enjoy the pleasure of being an imagination without the need for the physical manifested form of that imagination. So this means that you were able to manifest at warp speed. You were able to experience everything at once. You were able to experience whatever you wanted to experience. This is why imagination and experiencing emotion, even in this 3D physical world, is key in manifestation. Because the laws are still the same. The laws are still the same. But before I go off on that, what I wanted to talk about is that what I really want to talk about is that yes, we knew that no one creates in our reality, no one creates in our realm, if you like, when we were gods, when we were in the non-physical realm. When we descended and we kind of diminished ourselves into the physical 3D human mold, and I don't mean diminish. I don't mean diminish ourselves in terms. I don't want to sound like being in imagination is much more important than being in physical 3D body. It's not, but it's the diminishment happened or continues to happen when we forget the larger part of us that is non-physical, and we just focus on our physical 3D, reality, and all the things that go with it. All the consciousness that we created that says that other people can wound you with their words. With their words, they can wound you emotionally. They can get under your skin. That you need to be liked. So all of these are emotional things that we believe that other people can intersect in our reality, because it's not true that it's not true that your power lies in being liked by other people, because if that's a fake kind of power, and I said this in the other video that I did, if you have to rely on other people to like you, then that means you're a slave to those people. And because if they don't like you, then what are you going to do? That means your power is not really a true power. It's not really a stable power. It's not a real power, because it can be taken away anytime. The same thing goes with the belief that other people can insert themselves in our reality, and that other people can wound us with their words. Other people cannot wound us with their words. That emotion, we create that emotion at that point. Yes, the emotion exists in us. All emotions and all feelings exist in us at all points. But we always have a choice. We always have a choice on how to feel. Someone can say something to you, and you can choose to feel, even though these things they happen in nanoseconds, and we don't really realize that it's happening, but it's a choice, as unconscious as it may be. Someone says something to you and you just immediately feel a certain way, then it doesn't mean that that person made you feel that way. That means that you chose to feel that way, because you could choose to feel different. You could choose to feel differently. That same person can say the same thing to somebody else, and that person will feel differently. So you see what I'm saying? So therefore, we have the choice to feel differently about what is said to us at any point in time. And the other people also have the choice to feel differently about what we say about them at any point in time. And so therefore, knowing that we have this choice, then we can always choose to feel good, or at least positive, at least about what is being said about us. And I know this is challenging because as human, we are human beings. We cannot deny this fact. We have been trained and brainwashed to be affected by what other people say about us and what other people say to us. If somebody comes and like insults you or calls you a bitch or calls you something else, you can choose to feel positive about it. You can choose to say, okay, well, that's your opinion, and yeah, it's true that sometimes I am a bitch. Actually, a large part of me is a bitch, but the bitch helps me, get things done. It's a choice, and I know it takes some doing, especially if you are very unaware of yourself and you have been in shame for such a long time, and you have been shamed like most of us have been shamed as women have been shamed about being a bitch, about being a whore, about being a gold digger, about being a Jezebel, a siren, and um, we have used those things to diminish ourselves. We are not victims, though. I want to make this clear. We were not shamed from some outside force. I always want to clarify this because I don't want us to see ourselves as victims, because we are not. We participated in this. We created this consciousness. We participated in this human experiment at this point in time. And part of the agreement of that was to come into contrast, so we can make choices. And a lot of the feminine qualities, even the feminine principles of creation, which are intuition, emotion, were diminished. But this was all a choice. We all chose to make them go under, so we could use this consciousness as a certain kind of playing field to experience expansion, and also to play with consciousness, and all these other words that diminish the feminine. I mean, the physical feminine body in this 3D world. Words like I said, whore, gold digger, and all those other words were part of the things that we all decided that these were going to be part of the words. Well, we all decided, unconsciously, we decided that these are also going to be part of the words. This is as an extension from the diminishment. All of this happened because of an extension of the diminishment of the feminine. So it's not that we are victims. That I want to make clear. And this is why no one can really make you ashamed of being those things or having those aspects in you, unless you make yourself ashamed of them. So the control is back the power is back in your hands again. Let's say if I'm a bitch and I fully accept that I'm a bitch, and I'm not judging myself for being a bitch, whatever the connotation of a bitch is, what we usually call a bitch in this consciousness is a woman who maybe is I'm gonna just give my definition of what I think that's what a bitch is. It's a woman who knows what she wants and she goes for it. She doesn't care about what people think about her. It's a woman who's outspoken. She says what she wants the way she wants to say it, and she doesn't really care. And she doesn't take shit from anybody. She's comfortable in her skin. So it's almost funny me saying this, because it's so redundant. It's like, isn't that what we're supposed to be? But anyway, it has a negative connotation attached to it. And for the longest time, the feminine has been has judged this part of herself, and this is the reflection is what we see coming back to us. Once we accept these things and take our power back, then they will no longer be we will no longer be shamed. But it's not because the feminine is being shamed from outside, from the outside in. No, it's because the feminine herself is shaming herself. So acceptance, full acceptance of all these words, of all these definitions, bitch, whore, gold digger, Jezebel, siren, all these words that are is once the feminine accepts all of these words as part of her as part of her being, then the shame will there will be no shame attached to it anymore. And yes, it's gonna take a while for someone who hasn't really worked on themselves, or someone who is still very much ashamed of who they are, or is not it's not raised in a home where these values are revered, which most of us haven't been. So yes, it's gonna take a while, but we'll get there, and that's the whole point. The whole point is for the feminine to really accept herself again, accept who she is in totality. Both the good and the bad, and there's no such thing as good and bad. But I have to say it in that way in order for you guys to understand the totality of emotions and the totality of beingness, as in like being states, not beingness, yeah, states. The totality of states exists in all of us. And what we have been brainwashed to do is to accept just certain states as positive and accept and make certain states wrong. This is the time of good and evil, the tree of knowledge, and the Bible story of the tree of knowledge and all that. And I'm going off into other into other topics, but these are all linked. But yeah, today what I really wanted to talk about is our inability to be wounded emotionally by other people's words. Other people cannot make us feel any way we don't want to feel. And when we are able to accept this and apply it to ourselves, then we take back the totality of our power. Because, yeah, then we really, because it really, almost everything, if not everything, lies in feeling and emotion. I mean, in terms of living in this physical 3D world, we search for things. We search for things because we want to feel good. We want a big house, big cars, and all that, because all of these things make us feel good. We want to be in relationships, in romantic relationships, in friendships, because we want to feel good. We want to feel connected. We want to feel loved. We want to feel appreciated. We want to feel like we matter. So it all comes back to feeling good, feeling loved, feeling desired. And so therefore, and what's the other thing I wanted to talk about before I forget? And also, yeah, we say nice things, we communicate to each other in in different ways. We communicate in ways, sometimes in ways to make us feel good, sometimes what I want to say is that communication is used as a tool, also as part of this consciousness to incite feeling, not to incite feeling, is to I have to think about this. Is it to create a vibration or what? What is the purpose of communication in the non-physical realm? Uh, what was the what was the purpose of non-physical communication? Okay, it's connection. Mm. It's connection. Yeah, the people that have had the entities. I'm talking about us. When I say entities, I don't mean like I don't mean like demons and other and other entities that are like scary to us, which are not, they are not really scary, but we human beings, we whatever is unknown to us, we call it scary simply because we don't know about them. I'm talking about us. When we were in the non-physical realm, um, the purpose of communicating vibration, um, it wasn't the purpose. It was just that vibrations that were similar could feel each other. Yeah, vibrations that were similar could feel each other. Could vibrations that were similar could feel each other. They could sense each other. Yeah, that's the better word. Vibrations that were similar could sense each other, and I guess I don't know because I guess they created clusters and stuff like that, but um, in the physical 3D world, to vibrations that are similar can sense each other. This is why even though we don't see this happening with our physical senses. Um, that's what happens when you feel a certain way. Like, for instance, when you feel sad, most of the time, and that becomes your main vibration, you attract other people who also feel sad, and you talk about your sadness, and you talk about all the problems in the world that make you sad, and you know become more and more sad. So it's happening in a similar way in this physical 3D world. Um, but that's just it. Yeah, it's that vibration sense each other. But that vibration was already existing in you. You already created that vibration in you, and because you created that vibration in you, the person who has a similar vibe, the person, well, okay, now in the physical 3D world, the person who has a similar vibration can sense you, can sense your vibration, and I don't know, you from clusters or whatever. But it's not to say that they can create a vibration in you. They cannot create a vibration in you, and they cannot create an emotion in you. You do that all by yourself. So it doesn't matter what a person says to you. You can choose to feel. You can choose to feel the way you want to feel. And once we understand this, we will completely take back our power, and know that we don't have to be scared to say what we want to say. Um, we can use it as a way to practice holding to our own vibration and holding to our own feelings, um, until we become more and more stronger. At the beginning, you're still in the belief and in the feeling and belief and in the yeah, and it's really in the belief that other people can hurt you. When someone says something to you that you perceive as, again, the word perceive is perception, you perceive as hurtful, you are going to create that emotion. You're going to create emotion of hurt. But as you become more and more aware of your part in it and your ability to choose, you can begin to be more conscious when someone says something to you, and choose to say, okay, I'm not gonna feel this. I don't want to feel this. I'm gonna feel this. And it takes presence. It takes a lot of mental energy to slow down time, literally, to slow down time, to watch your reactions, to 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 hold to create a break, create a break, or create a what do you call it? Create a, it's not a barrier, but yeah, create a kind of a break where, when someone says something to you, and then you begin, when someone says something to you that you perceive as hurtful, and then that you begin to sense yourself feeling hurt, then you quickly stop, and then you choose to feel differently. It's all in choice. I think I've made the video about choice, and yeah, it all comes down to choice too. It's we are here to experience deep emotions, but it all comes down to choice also. It comes down to what we choose to feel. And yeah, this video is a little bit all over the place. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about is just that no one can wound you. And I know this is I don't want to call it sensitive. It could be sensitive to people who have just been, who just come across it. But once you understand it, then it really is simple, that you are responsible for your emotions, and no one can make you feel how you don't want to feel. You have the ability to choose to feel in whatever way you want to feel. And as human beings, we have a problem with our dominion. That's that's one of the things I was thinking about this morning. We have a real problem with our power, with our God essence, and that's why we almost, I want to say, we almost like to be victims. It's not really that we like to be victims. That's how we've just been. That's how we've been playing the game for so long, and for many of us, it's difficult to just come out of it like that. To just come out of it and just be be a god who's not affected by anything that's happening in the physical 3D world. Who's not affected? Of course, you're gonna die. Because you're still a physical human being. But I'm talking about in terms of emotions, in terms of what other people are doing, in terms of what other people are saying, in terms of your own goals and dreams, and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. But we'll get there. It's all in service of expansion. We chose this, and we will get there. So yeah, this is all I have for this video. I will be. If you have any questions, let me know. I will. I don't know. I feel like maybe I should say more, but maybe this is just me. I feel like I should say more about this topic, but maybe it's just me. If I need to say more, I'll make another video. And yeah, because I really wanna delve into this topic a little bit more, because I feel like it's very important for us to really know this and feel it. All right. Okay. Bye bye, everyone.